All right. Welcome to a late night video. Driving in the car. It's not that late. It's only 8 p.m. I'm driving to go roller skating. Love it. And I'm in a good mood right now, so I just wanted to share some thoughts. I hope that the road noise isn't too loud. Anyway, welcome. Thank you for joining me as I drive. How fast am I driving? Just 65. I'm a slow driver, y'all. All right. It's kind of a joke. Every now and then I'm like, I'm gonna speed up. It's like, whoa, hold on, slow down. Whoa. All right, so something that has stuck with me for quite some time is a couple years ago, I heard this woman channeling a kind of a higher message from spirit, and her name is Darshana Patel, and I think her website is it's just unscriptedway.com. Anyway, she has some YouTube videos, and I just happened upon one, and like, it goes on for a long time, but the phrase that just stuck with me, like, I don't remember anything else from it, from this 30-minute channeling. I do remember her saying, basically this message from spirit. It's like, there is no judgment. And she said it like that. It's like, there is no judgment. There is no judgment. You're not being judged for your actions or your thoughts or your feelings or anything. There is no judgment. There is no judgment. Hey. Now you might be thinking, well, what about the consequences to your actions? Okay, that's not judgment. That's consequences to your actions. Hello, those are two separate things. If you think you're being punished for your actions, that you gotta crumple that piece of paper up, toss it out, burn that paper away. Because the thing is, there's no judgment and there's no punishment. There's a consequence for your actions, only because if you're going to cultivate a certain type of energy, a certain feeling state, you're cultivating it. You're creating that for your life to manifest into reality, into an experience, okay? One way or another. And we can punish ourselves with our own energy thoughts. That's part of it, is like this idea that I need to punish myself because I feel guilty, because I learned that punishment is a thing. That's why forgiveness is so talked about so much, because it's like, hey, dude, forgive yourself. There is no punishment. There is no judgment. There is no judgment. Love accepts all, everyone. I know that some people are gonna think, well, what about this? What about that? And they're gonna use examples of like the worst thing they can think of, the most horrible thing in the world they can think of. Oh my God, what about this? It's like, dude, did you hear what I said? There is no judgment from spirit. Okay? Spirit is not judging any of it. Those people are cultivating an energy experience for their life, and they're going to experience that. And they are creating it, and they are acting from it. You know, people who are acting, we all kind of make choices from the feeling states, right, that we're in. Like, perhaps I'm feeling abundant and generous, and so it's like generosity comes from this abundance because it's like overflowing. All right, that's one thing that just naturally will happen. Now, if someone is in fear, they're going to act and make choices based on the feeling state of fear, and fear is closing off, right? And then comes the greed. Greed is just fear that I'm not going to have enough. Stinginess is fear, that this dollar is going to run away from me as fast as I picked it up. For example, and that's the example that came to mind because I think we can all kind of understand that. And I didn't want to go to extremes because I love how anytime I bring up this, love accepts all. There is no judgment. Like, people may be judging each other, whatever, but that's the people level. Spirit level, there is no judgment. You're completely and totally loved for any choice you make, any feeling state you have, any choices you make from those feeling states. Then you're not being judged for it. It's like, okay, that's an experience you are choosing for your life. The end of story. And then whatever comes out of that is what comes out of that. There's no punishment. All right, guys? So, yeah. Just really fully let yourself, and like there's this letting yourself be allowed to be embraced. Allow yourself, to be embraced by this truth. The truth that you are completely and totally accepted. You are completely and absolutely, in the entirety of you is accepted. Even the parts you don't think are accepted are actually accepted. Those parts just don't know it yet. So they are unable to believe yet, but just allow yourself to know that love. There is no judgment in love. The energy of love. All right? Yeah. And I know it's just like, fear wants to say all these things. Fear wants to run away from love. It's so funny when we are afraid that we're not worthy of love or something like that, or that if we're afraid of love, like the fear is what is keeping us from love. And it's just funny because it's just ironic. Because like if we weren't afraid of love, we would just know that we're loved. Okay, anyway, there's a lot, and that's what the inner work is for, y'all. That's what I do my inner work for. So I can open up all those places that have been afraid and disbelieving, because love loves those places. Love loves all the parts that don't believe that love is real, too. That's the other thing. Love is like, oh, I love you as you are. In your disbelief, I love you. In your unacceptingness of the fact that you're accepted, I love you. In your resistance and fear, I love you. I do love you. And it's okay that you are where you are. It really is. It really is. And, those of us who just love that feeling of love so much that I will open up all of those dungeon gates. Guys, it's like an RPG game. I'm going through the little dungeons, opening up the gates. I'm getting the keys to open up the gates. Just like in Zelda, you gotta find the key first, and then you can open up that gate, that little door. Then you can open up that treasure box. And the treasure is love flooding that room once more. And it's just a wonderful journey, and I'm glad to share it with you guys. All right, have a good night.